Tombow Fudenosuke here, and I am here filming for my May setup, just showing you a few of the pens that I'm using for this theme. I really am enjoying that I'm like trying new colors and things like that in my bullet journal because of this craft paper. So anyways, this theme was voted on by my patrons. It is a book lovers theme. So I thought it would be fitting to start off with an open book for my cover page. Like my husband said in our last plan with me, I have really missed doing cover pages to kind of just have some sort of statement piece for beginning a new month and like kind of refreshing your brain around a new theme. So like I said, I haven't used these colors a lot, but they felt very homey to me. And because, you know, a lot of us are at home, I just thought it would be pretty fitting to have something that's just a little bit more muted of colors and a little bit more like homey, rustic, very, I don't know, the colors to me just scream comfort. So I am using all three pens from Tombow, and then I'm also using a Big Intensity Fineliner for the olive tone for just writing, and then I'm also using a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen in the hard tip. So like I said, I thought that going into May would be a really nice time to just kind of relax and feel at home. So while this theme is a book lover's theme and I'm going to get more into like types of books and going on an adventure with your book, I just really wanted to kind of set the tone in the beginning for kind of the vibe of sitting on the couch and reading a good book. So in most of this setup, I'm using a very straight edge just because that's typically how books are. They're usually pretty sturdy, and I just wanted to kind of mimic that sturdy style with the type of lettering that I was doing and the type of shapes that I was producing as well. So until the very last page when I do my cleaning tracker, everything else is pretty bold, pretty serif font type of situation. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. So again, I really just wanted kind of a statement piece for the cover page. So I thought it would be great to put May in these large serif letters. And funny enough, when I was sketching this out, I was doing it during a training that I was listening to, and somehow my brain jumped back to March, which, I mean, I don't want to repeat March again. I don't think anyone else does either. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I literally wrote out the entire word of March, and before I had like started, I caught myself and then had to redo most of it because it is obviously not March, and that would have not been a great way to start off May. And to bring some balance to this page, because I had intended on writing March very large across the entire page, I had this space left over, and so I lettered in 2020 in there just because I thought that that would be a nice balance to the big bold May. I chose the quote, "Reading is an exercise in empathy, an exercise in walking in someone else's shoes for a while," from Mallory Blackman, who is a British author. I just thought with everything going on in the world right now, a lot of people can use a lot of empathy and understanding other people's situations. So I don't know, it just felt really fitting to me. So I thought that I would kind of go with a book theme here with a dedication page, but instead of a dedication page, instead of dedicated to, I'm doing gratitude to. It's something that I did during one of my weeks in April that I just really found myself feeling very appreciative of some of the smaller things. So I thought that this page might be nice to really include, just to feel good about something that's going on. And I thought that being grateful to even the small things, was kind of worth it. I think that everyone can take a step back and just look at one little thing that is going right instead of all the little things or all the big things that are going wrong, and maybe it might help. Like I said, I was shooting for a lot of that structured look, so you'll see these like frames repeat throughout this spread and this theme. I really like the look of it, and I like how even though this is a brown paper notebook with the craft paper, you can really still get some dynamics with the different types of browns as well. Moving on, you all know that I have to have a calendar. It's something that I've been relying on quite a bit. I used to use just a really basic calendar in terms of figuring out what is the start of the day or start of the week when I'm working on my setup. But lately I have been integrating this into more of a planning type thing. So I added one more box to my spread from the one that I did last month. So it is 3 boxes wide and 5 boxes tall. So it's 4 boxes in the middle and then 1 box to fit the numbers in at the top. And I love having a calendar. I always do a Monday start calendar. For me, it just makes sense. I work Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday is the weekend. And oftentimes when I'm doing stuff on the weekend, all that stuff gets clumped together, and when I travel and all that kind of stuff. So it really just makes sense to me to have a Monday start. So remember, your bullet journal is your own. I do a Monday start calendar because that works for my brain and for my life. And if it doesn't work for yours, feel free to switch it up to whatever does work. I know people that work midweek and work for a week at a time. So sometimes they've done their calendars where they started on Wednesday just because they work 7 days on, 7 days off, and it starts on a Wednesday. Or maybe they have custody schedules that are different, and so they do everything based on their custody schedule. I don't know. It really just depends on you and your life. So again, I was going for more of this serif type font, just because I don't know, it feels very old-time booky to have that kind of font, and I really wanted to just add some interest with different types of like how the actual serif works, and doing like little things at the end of my A's and my Y's and things like that. I don't know. I just thought I would get a little creative with it. So I've been doing this style quite often where I skip the different types of headers just to give it some interest. I know Planning with Kay does this a lot, and I originally got the idea because of Erin Condren and how like people do their glitter headers, and that's what gave me the idea for this. But honestly, Planning with Kay is a queen at this, so go check out her channel. She's awesome, and she's such a sweet person. And I don't know. I want to spread the love. That's what I really feel like I need right now, is spreading the love and the kindness around. So I'm trying to do a little different stuff with my Plan With Me videos, so hopefully you like it. I just thought that doing certain things at angles might make things a little bit more interesting for you guys. Please let me know down in the comments below if you like just different types of angles and things like that added to these plan with me's. It really helps me out a lot to see the comments, and I make a lot of decisions based on those. The next spread I'm working on is my master task list. This is a staple in my bullet journal month in and month out. It helps me out so much just to keep a general list of things that are going on, especially long-term tasks that keep getting migrated around, or a task list that is somewhat the same every month. It's just the different months' content. So it's really helpful for me just in general to have this list and to separate things out into different areas of my life. So I separate it out for work, business, and home. So again, I really wanted to bring that home style feel. So I did these little white floating shelves for my banners for work, business, and home, where I added some different types of books. Again, I know Planning with Kay did a book theme recently. I tried to definitely make sure that it was my own. I am doing some of the similar types of styles because, to be honest, if you're doing a book lovers theme, books on a shelf is what you go for, right? So I decided to do that for the different headers, and then I decided to change up this type of look by incorporating in my weeklies a story coming to life. So you're going to see things become a lot different once I get into my weeklies, but I really wanted at the beginning of the month really just to set that homey feel. So in my brain, the headers were kind of like the different block letters that you can get at like Michael's or another craft store that you put like on your walls or on your, like, I don't know, like I keep picturing in my brain someone's shelf in their office saying the word create or something like that out of these different blocks. So I don't know, that's what was in my brain while I was working on this, to add those different headers. And then the next page I'm working on is for my Patreon and my brain dump page. So again, I'm bringing this very structured theme to this page. So the top section is for putting in my content calendar for my patrons so that I make sure that I get all the things that are promised to them every single time that I promise them. So at the beginning of the month, I always give them a calendar for what they can expect throughout the month, when they can expect their stickers that get mailed, when they can expect live streams, everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add that content calendar in here later on. But I also realized in the past few months that I kind of needed a brain dump page to go with this. I was putting it in like a general ideas category, or I don't know. I just needed another page because my patrons give me a ton of ideas. And I realized that because I didn't really do an annual setup in this bullet journal, I don't really have a page for that anymore like I did at the beginning of the year when I added it to my white notebook. If you have been around the last 2 months, you know that I got a Peloton. We got it at the beginning of March, and I've been doing a pretty good job keeping up with it. My knee is holding up. It's definitely sore after some of the rides because you get out of the saddle, meaning you get out of the actual seat and you like pump your legs really hard while standing up. So sometimes it hurts my knee a little bit, but I'm keeping up with it and my knee is doing a lot better. If you don't know, I am 7 months post-op from knee surgery, so I'm definitely getting back into the swing of things. I'm pretty proud of myself at how far I've come. I realized the other day that I'm officially 7 months post-op, and that just blew my mind. So this tracker is to track all of the different types of metrics that come with a Peloton. So basically what I do is I track how long I ride, which is the different colors, and that goes in the left-hand side box, and then I do a line graph for all of the different metrics. If you want a more in-depth thing, I will link the video to where I create my first Peloton tracker. It was one of my Wellness Wednesday check-ins, and you guys can take a look at that a little bit more in depth. So as per usual, I'm adding a habit tracker as well. I have been slowly going back to weekly habit trackers, and not so slowly. I've been doing it quite a bit the last, I don't know, month and a half. So I'm using these stickers that come from my shop. This is the Monday Start calendar. I also have Sunday Start calendars that you can get as well. And I'm going down from 6 trackers down to 4, where I'm tracking working out, yoga, 7 hours of sleep, and then doing designs. Last but certainly not least is my cleaning tracker. So if you guys have been around this channel a lot, you know that this is a stencil that is in my shop, and it is for tracking my cleaning. So basically what I do is I do different types of cleaning on different schedules. And so each one of these is a section for just a different type of schedule. Some are my daily cleaning tasks, some are my bi-weekly cleaning tasks, some are my weekly, and some are my monthly. So there's sections in this stencil for all of them. I like how I did this, however, I also don't at the same time. I've never really quite done it with a marker. I saw one of my patrons do it and I was like, oh, I want to try it like that. Usually I do distressed inks or I just do the outlines. But I really wanted to do this colored in look, and I didn't really have any distressed inks that matched this color palette that I really wanted. So I decided to color it in with my Tombow. I kind of wish I would have done the outline while the stencil was still in place. I decided to take the stencil off and then do an outline, which made my hand cramp, and it took a lot longer and it's not as tidy. So I really wish I would have waited, but to be honest, as long as it is helping me be productive with my cleaning, hopefully that's enough, you know? So like I said, everything else was pretty structured, and then this, I decided just to kind of break up the structure a little bit. Like I kind of said, I kind of wish I would have kept it with the whole stencil. I really wish I would have started outlining while I had the stencil in place. For some reason, my hands were really, really shaky this entire setup. I think I was just too far gone from my caffeine because I waited until the end of the day to work on this. But I don't know, it looks fine at the end, and as long as I'm getting cleaning done, like I said, that is the most important part. If you want to know more about this cleaning tracker, I will go ahead and link the cleaning tracker video so you can kind of understand how the whole structure is set up. So this part I speed through quite a bit just because it was a process. So basically this is going to be my cleaning tracker, and I've left space on the second page for a reading tracker. However, I have not completed that stencil yet, and I really wanted to use my new stencil that is coming out at the beginning of May. I just haven't quite finished it, so I still need to finish that. So I left a space ready for the reading tracker. I really wanted to make sure everything got done for my patrons first, since their stickers are heading out later this week with the new stencil. So I wanted to make sure I addressed all of that kind of stuff. If you guys are interested in getting stencils and stickers every month, my $20 patrons are the ones that get everything ahead of time. They get the monthly kit ahead of time, and they get whatever stencil ahead of time as well. So I don't know, I really appreciate them. They have definitely kept me sane. We've been doing a ton of live streams because of all of this COVID stuff and making sure we're all checking in with each other. And I don't know, it's been a great community to go to with everything that's going on. They're very supportive, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Patreon. So just like with the master task list, I decided to add this white floating wall, and then I worked my way backwards in the word cleaning just so I knew how much room I had to work with on the other side. I didn't want to start at the end and then, I don't know, I wanted it to be a little bit balanced. So I made sure I worked from the G over to the C as well. And now I am just whiting out some of these boxes because May starts on a Friday, so I won't need Monday through Thursday in that daily tracker. I'm just using last month's cleaning tracker as a base so that I can put down all of my items for this month. So you can see there is a daily section, a bi-weekly section, so that means things that happen twice a week. So there are spaces for 5 weeks and then twice for 5 weeks. So then every Tuesday I would mark off that item, and every Thursday or whatever day it says, I will mark off the other one. And then same thing for weekly, there's a space for 1 day per week, and then a monthly where you have a space for once per month. And then I put in this if you have time, because I'm gonna have a lot of time, but theoretically I might not, because we might be going back after May 15th, but I highly doubt it. We'll see what's going on. But like I said, I just added in this little reading tracker over on the right hand side, and I will put in my stencil once I finish that. Thank you all for joining me for another month. I love doing these monthly setups. It's something that really just reinvigorates me, because towards the end of the month, especially now, as much as I love a theme, it gets repetitive. So every time I do these new months, I get to work on new themes, and it really just reinvigorates my creativity, and I just really enjoy what I do, and I'm glad that you guys come along for the ride every single month. So thank you so much for always supporting me. Thank you to my patrons who are always giving me the best ideas. You all are awesome. I love doing my design sessions with you. I am sure because I'm home for yet another month, we will be doing quite a few live streams. So I will give more information on that when it comes. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.